Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Business Foreplay. How is everybody? You can unmute now. So this morning we are joined by Lois. Lois and I met maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe. Has it been that long? I don't know. But I love what Lois does, and I thoroughly enjoy listening to her talk. If you are a business owner, you're going to enjoy this also. And I always take notes, but during this, we're also going to share her contact information so that you don't have to take notes. You can just reach out to her and get on a one-on-one with her and let her give you all the details herself. But Lois, why don't you welcome Lolita? Let's start there. Sorry. Too many L's in a row. Lois, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about what brought you into your business?
Hey guys, so I am Lois Wyant. I'm an online visibility expert. It's really cute that you would call me Loie because my mom used to have a daycare and there was this little, like, I think he was like 3 and he couldn't say his S's and he always called me Loie. So it's like, and I told that story in college and so all of my college friends called me Loie too. So that was bringing back fun memories. So I work with businesses that do depend on the near me searches and help them to be online where people are searching for them, whether it's through their SEO, their website, their video, reviews, their social media, just helping them understand how important it is to be in front of the people where the people are searching for them. So that is my thing.
And you do it well. And
Thanks.
and so much of it is done through AI, which
Yeah, I'm an AI fan.
yeah. Did you say fanatic? I thought maybe you said fanatic.
I said fan, but fanatic works too.
I know what comes to mind for me is the fanatic. And so many people are afraid of AI,
Mhm.
afraid, apprehensive, maybe is a good word, have run businesses. Maybe they're like me and they've been in business for, 30 plus years and they've done well without it. And so they don't really see a need to learn a new trick. But I think that you can clarify that for us today, right?
I think so. I think, it's funny that you said that because my own sister sent me a Facebook video this weekend on how AI is the modern Tower of Babel. I'm like, really? Like,
Sure.
I
That's
was like, okay, whatever.
And I think that that's maybe where a lot of the overwhelming confusion, people are looking for ways to not get involved with it, right?
Yeah.
For excuses and reasons to not get involved with AI. But for me, um, I like learning. And so I dove right in. I even named my chat GPT that I have a GPT that's named in there. I haven't named all of them. I use multiple different AI tools, but that one is named. But I think that the my rebuttal for your sister would be if it's something that you're idolizing, perhaps, but when it's a tool that you're utilizing to build a business in a way that speaks to the audience that you have, then that's a whole different scenario, right? So why don't you, we'll go ahead and turn the time over to you and you can just get started. Make sure that we save enough time at the end to have questions answered. I'm sure there are going to be lots of questions.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, let me start with asking you a couple questions. And you don't have to say it out loud, just in your head. Do you want more visibility without being online all day? Do you feel like you're doing a lot of marketing, but it isn't turning into consistent leads? And would it help if your marketing didn't depend on how much energy you have at the end of a long day? So if you said yes to any of those, this is the right place. I find that most people think their problem is that they don't know the right tool or the right platform or the right strategy. But after working with several business owners, I can tell you that's not the real issue. The real issue is the invisible loop. And that is you post when you have time, you disappear when you get busy, you scramble when leads slow down, and then you repeat the cycle again next month. And it is exhausting. It makes even great businesses feel invisible. And I understand this deeply because I started my first entrepreneurial spirit experience in high school where I actually started decorating cakes for people. And I was in a position where I was doing 1 to 3 wedding cakes almost a weekend. And that's how I paid for my college. And then after graduating college, I met my husband and we ran a very successful photography studio. And we invested heavily to keep up with things like equipment, technology. And I was in charge of the marketing. So I went from the point of doing bridal shows and sending out postcards all the way to being one of the first studios to have a website and one of the first studios to use email marketing. And it was a growth process. And even when we changed technology to digital cameras, our first digital camera was actually made by Kodak and it was $25,000. And it was not near as good as the camera on this. So staying with technology takes an investment, whether it's a dollar investment or time investment or just a desire to grow. But it's important to make sure that you're sticking with that technology. And I think that some of the ways that people really need to embrace the technology is first off with AI, because a ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, whatever you choose to use, can fix your message of confusion as long as you train it. People want to understand what you do. When they go online and see you, they want to know what you do, who you do it for, and where you actually service your product or your time. And people don't want to read blank content. It's no longer an area where, okay, we need to do X amount, we need 500 words of content. They would rather have 200 words of content and make sure you're answering their question than have a lot of fluff content. And this is really one of the ways that AI can help you. And by really honing down on that confusion on your content, it also helps you rank better with the Google and the AIs because it too then is getting a clearer message of what you're doing. And Google doesn't, if you don't give Google the clear signs, then it just has to guess. And when Google guesses, then it probably is going to guess for your competitors because they have a clearer message. And then another area that we really need to embrace AI is to have a business that's 24/7. And one of those items would be your website, but also having a voice chat GPT on your website that answers questions when you're working with a client or when you're in bed or when you're closed, excuse me. But having a voice chatbot has just been a huge change for so many of my clients because it's trained to know your complete sales process. And so it can follow whatever your goal is, whether it's to make an appointment with somebody, or maybe it's to send them a sample, or whatever your final point is that you want them to do when they're on your website. And I love talking to my ChatGPT because it's amazing how she just comes up with new things each time that I do like a demo of her. And it's so fun to think, oh wow, she's so smart. I couldn't even thought of going back that way. But the goal is that you go to bed and you wake up the next morning with more appointments on your calendar, or you go to bed and you have 3 or 4 samples to send out. So it's just making sure that you are open when people are searching for your business. And then also using AI to build trust. And one of the biggest ways that people trust you is by seeing you, understanding you, listening to you, giving advice. And you can use AI to help you build video content that resonates with people. Video is one of the biggest areas that I think local businesses are not embracing because, it's scary. Oh, you got to be on video. I don't think I can do that. But that's where you are actually building the rapport with the people who are searching for your business. If you're creating videos that answer specific questions that they're searching for, AI can actually give you those questions, then you're coming up in their searches and they're seeing you, they know that they can trust you and they feel confidence in you. So if they're just exploring or learning, like, I need a new furnace, I don't know which one to get. And then you come up with a video with the top 3 furnaces to accommodate Raleigh, North Carolina. And they're listening to that and they're building the understanding of, oh, which furnace is going to be best for me because it's really cold right now, you know, then they're going to trust you. And then when they get to a point that they really need that furnace, they're going to remember you, and that's the person that they're going to call. And so video is just really important. The other great thing about video is that AI can understand video, so they can take content off of your video and use it in their AI answers. But also Google owns YouTube. So when you're putting video on YouTube and then embedding it onto your website, it's kind of like getting extra bonuses for searches so that it can come up as a Google website search, and it can also come up as a Google YouTube search. So you can show up in multiple times when somebody is searching for something. So, and then video not only, or AI can not only like help you create the script that's going to resonate with people so that you can manually do those videos. But there are some videos that can actually clone your voice so you don't have to do the whole video. Maybe you do the beginning section, maybe a little middle section, and then the closing. And then you let AI use your voice to do B-roll with the rest of the video. Or they also have video that will clone you and use your avatar to make the video that look really good. Now, there are some that look a little odd, but there are some good ones. I like in video at this point, but they are really getting better, and they are really getting harder to see the difference between a real person and an AI avatar. So those are kind of great ways to create video and maybe use video until you get more comfortable with being the person who's actually on that particular video. Excuse me. The another area that we want to look at is that people don't want to guess what you're doing. They don't want to guess the more specific areas of your service. And so making sure that that flows well on all of your areas. So like your social media content is consistent with telling who you are and what you're doing. And there are some really great AI tools to help us build that social media aspect. So like I have an AI running right now that's reaching out to people in a specific Facebook group that's my ideal client. And it's sending out friend requests and sending out a first message saying, hey, I see that you're also part of this group. Would love to connect and see how we can help each other. And so I let the AI do the first message, and then I take it over from there and reach out and do the follow-up. So there's just so many different ways that AI can work for you. And the most important thing is to understand that you need to do the proper training for it. I was chatting with somebody earlier this morning, and we were talking about how you can tell an AI email when it starts out with, I hope your day is going well. And it's like, you got to change that. You can't let that go out. That's just terrible. So you have to make sure that AI understands your voice, your personality, the message that you want to do, but also have it research the person that you're reaching out to. And it can do that so quickly. It can just take literally seconds to understand that person and create the perfect message for that person so that they actually feel like it's a real connection and that you are really concerned. And make sure that your messages are giving before you ask. So make sure your messages are saying, hey, I saw you and I thought we would be a good connection. Would love to see how I can help you. And make sure that you're giving before you're actually asking for things. Any questions?
I have a question. I had to unmute myself. I actually took notes. So when you were talking about embedding a video on your website, the best way to do that is that just to have one, like maybe a current video on the bottom, or is there a specific one that's better, or can we rotate it, or is it better to have a banner with multiple videos?
That's a good question.
That's practice there.
Okay, depends on the page. You actually should have a video on every page of your website. I know that sounds overwhelming, but that would be the best structure. But on your home page, you want a video that talks about you and your services and a little bit about your company. But then for AI purposes, when you're creating pages that answer questions specifically, like say you have an furnace repair page for Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, so the structure for that would be that your headline and everything targets furnace repair, that location, and then your content talks about the first couple sentences mention something about that area. Okay, like Raleigh, North Carolina, just east of Durham or whatever. And then your content goes in through that. But then your video, I would put two videos on that page. One video about the location, and that one doesn't have to be yours. So something that's notable about that area. And the second video would be about your services that specifically answers that question about that area.
Okay.
And then the last part of that page is actually talking about the highlights or the notable points or like the touristy types of things of that area. And if you have the time, I would backlink to those particular websites about that. So that's going to give you, that gives all the Google the signs of you service that area, you know that area, what service you're giving that area, that you're giving highlights of the area and you're doing backlinks. So Google is like, oh yeah, you really are part of, or you're really servicing Raleigh.
I see.
And then it also, all of that information then feeds the AI.
All right. Noelle, you have, oh, I'm sorry, Nicole, you had a question. You're first on my screen. You're muted. Can't hear you. Okay, Noelle, you want to go ahead and go first while Nicole figures her sound out?
Absolutely. Now, here's an issue I run into. So I am global because I do online coaching. So I have this question of what's the best kind of backlink for when you are, truly online, like truly digital, you're location non-specific.
Yeah, that one is really hard. And that's kind of like my specialty is the near me. But I do come across that often where people are like, hey, I'm global. And I'm global. I mean, I cover the whole, well, I cover United States. But so the direction you would want to go with that, my first suggestion is there an area that you have more clients? So like, is there an area where like, okay, I have like 3 clients in Bronx, New York. Okay. So then I would actually create a page about doing online marketing for that location. Then once I have like a page for each location that I already have clients, I would go back then and do a search for like the wealthiest cities in the United States.
Okay, because you're focusing more on concentration. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you're
Like,
going to have to really, because when
okay.
people are searching for a specific coach for something, you will come up better if you are saying that you service that location. So you need a page for specific locations if you wish to come up with on the searches and on the AI searches.
Okay, that makes total sense. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Nicole, are you ready?
I think so. Is my mic working?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. Power of tech, right? Switch stuff out. Oh, what I was gonna say is, yeah, I like that location specific. I will say though, really quick, Noelle, you're not upright.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on, it flipped me.
But
Hold on. My
I'm like,
phone
it's
flipped
kind of
me like
weird,
3 times. It was like upside down. You say this is business foreplay. This is us in every direction going crazy on Monday.
And Sue, welcome to Monday. Yeah, so on the videos for AI, when you're putting the videos on your website, do you suggest, and I think you were talking about this before, but to update, do you suggest update often or go back through like every 3 months or something for people? I know there's some things, if you get stuff in the area, some of those events and whatnot get old. And it looks like you've not updated your website.
Yeah, so your website itself, you want to make sure you're updating on a specific. So I like to think of what is a reason to update my website? So HVAC is an easy one for me. So our HVAC clients, we update them every quarter or every seasonal change because now we're in winter, so now they're working on furnace repairs, but soon we'll be right before summer, so we'll work on air conditioning tune-ups. So having a reason to update your website is very beneficial because Google likes the fresh content. You should also look back and see, if you're doing blog posts and you have blog posts that are 3 or 4 years old, you need to go back through those and either refresh them or condense them or do something because the SEO from 2 or 3 years ago is completely different now. And so whatever you have that's over a couple years old on your website, that needs to be freshened up because it's not meeting what Google is doing now. So there were times where people would do lots of, the whole goal was to do a lot of blog posts. Well, now if you can condense those down, say 3 or 4 of your posts and condense it down into one more detailed, because it's no longer about having more words, it's having more detail and more usable content.
I love that. Carl, you had a question.
Yeah, I got a quick comment and a question. I asked AI how an older guy like myself could get a hot body, and it said try cremation. But no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, the question I was going to ask you is, you're in the area of near me, right? I'm assuming you probably work with Google Business Profiles. Is AI, is it gotten to the point to where AI can manage or update your Google Business Profiles?
There is through Go High Level, there is a part there where you can update it through scheduling.
Okay, all right. But is that attributed to AI?
No, it does not. So there's not a direct AI connection to update those. You have to still, you still have to either schedule it or manually update it.
Yeah, because one of the things I've always told people as a consultant is to, especially if you have a local business, brick and mortar, especially, or whatever, to, you need to manage your Google Business Profile. So
yeah, and if you can it's been a really big tip lately that if you can, for reviews, if you could direct your people with reviews more, what you want them to do is you want them to be very specific about the service that you gave them, what they're happy about with that service, what location they are. Let's say they're they serviced me in Franklinton, hey, I have a house in Franklinton, Indiana, and our lawnmower guy, or whatever, and then if they could share specifically before and after pictures, but at least after pictures, those are going to help you out so tremendously.
yeah, you could also post the videos you created. So
Right.
you got a lot of content you can create. The other thing is, as you were talking about websites, I'm having our I Refuse to Fail website totally redone. And the person that's helping me with it is one of my partners. He is using AI almost exclusively, and I'm just blown away at what it can do.
Yeah.
I would say 95% of it is going to be AI, and then just tweak the rest of it manually. It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure it sounds like a human voice. It's the most important part.
Well, I'm talking about we're going to be putting more. I'm a big proponent of video, but and we will have video on every page. But I'm talking about the design and the development.
Oh, okay, design,
the website itself. Just it's amazing what it can do.
Yes, it is.
So, Thank
it's
you.
just going to get better and more.
And so, Lois, I had a question for you. So oftentimes when I'm collecting testimonials
Mhm.
from a client, I have a form that I send out, and it has 3 examples on it that they can choose from. The reason I do that, and I've never had anybody choose one of the examples, but the reason that I do that is so that they can think and really envision what I'm looking for in a testimonial. And so on our Google review request, so after these entrepreneurs work with somebody, they can send a Google review request. Can that be a part of that, to have a few examples, maybe even just say, here's examples of what we're looking for and why, maybe. I find that that's not, I mean, these are people that are going to leave a good review anyways. And so I find that that's not a bad thing to put it in that format. They can open it in an email, they can have it right there while they're doing it and be like, oh, okay, I can craft it this way, right? So is
Right.
that something that you think would be helpful or not helpful?
No, I think that would be helpful. Yeah, just to help them to kind of, like you said, just get the wheels rolling as far as like what they could say or what would be beneficial to you as the business with the reviews.
Right, right. Okay, did you have I'm waiting to hear your thing you have. Are you going to play your phone thing?
Oh, yeah, I can play my phone thing.
I'm waiting. I'm like,
I
that's the
didn't,
best
I
part.
didn't know if we had time for it. I was holding
I
it back.
think we do.
So this is,
I think we have time for it.
okay. So this is my voice chat on my website, and her name is Jenna. And the fun thing I love, the samples I love to do with Jenna is because I always um, am being a different person because I love to see what she comes up with.
Hey there. Before we dive in, can I get your name?
Hi, my name's Lois.
Hi, Lois. It's great to meet you. What kind of business do you have? And what are your main goals or challenges with digital marketing right now?
So I do landscape curbing, and I'm in central Indiana, and I really would just like to grow my business more.
Thanks for sharing, Lois. Growing your landscape curbing business in central Indiana is definitely doable. Are you mainly looking to get more local leads, boost your online presence, or something else?
I think improve my online presence because I have a new competitor and he's just doing a really bad job. And I'd almost like to tell people how bad he is, but I know that's probably not the best direction.
I totally get your frustration, Lois. Focusing on improving your own online presence is definitely the smarter move, and we can help you stand out in a positive way so customers choose you over the competition. Would you like to hear how JFT web marketing can help you shine online?
Sure.
You're right, Lois. It's always better to highlight your strengths instead of calling out the competition, and we can help you do just that with a strong website, great reviews, and local search strategy. Would you like to set up a quick consultation to talk through some ideas tailored for your business?
So that was a new conversation I had with her. I haven't tried that one yet, but I just loved how she comes up with the details that she comes up with. And she's trained to, like for mine, she's trained to make an appointment for people to meet with me. So it just depends on what your sales progress is.
I love that. Does anybody have? Oh, Nicole has something to say.
Well, yeah. So can that be translated? So if somebody else calls and they're speaking Spanish, does that
Yeah.
translate? Do you have that in there?
Yeah, she can speak different languages. I set one up where the people were from Israel, and so she speaks to them too.
I love that. Go ahead, Carl. What's your question?
Yeah, pros and cons.
Okay.
I've worked with Google for several years, okay? And it's been a while, but every time I've had an issue, I used to have a real person I could contact, and now they want me to use the chatbot, right?
Yeah.
And I would say maybe one time out of 10, it can really answer my question. Okay. And it's frustrating. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's probably getting better and better. But for your own personal website, without having to go into a long, lengthy training here, do you have to train the bot to know what to answer or how to answer, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I agree that you don't want to you don't want your chatbot to be like a tech expert. I
Yeah.
mean, the goal of the voice chat is to either get out a sample, get an appointment, not to take care of all of the things. So if you come up with a specific question that she's like, oh, that's a great question. I think we should make an appointment with Lois so you can discuss that. So, but yeah, so it's trained on everything that's in your website, and then we go through and train it on like the sales direction you want it to go. And then we also give it specific questions that you might be asked and the answer to those questions. So if something really kind of like more normal for you comes up, then it has that specific answer. So yeah, but we would not want to train it to be a tech expert. We want it to train to make an appointment with you when something comes up in
Yeah,
detail.
the other thing is that, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of the information it's pulling from your website. And what I tell it depends on the business, but not all businesses should say what their pricing is, okay,
Right,
what their fees are. But
right.
yet, if you have that on a page that's not published, but you share it with people manually,
Mhm.
okay, and somebody says, yeah, I want to know how much it's going to cost for that. Is she going to reach in, find the pricing and give it to them, or?
If we instruct her to do that, if we instruct her not to share the pricing, if anybody requests
Oh,
pricing
okay.
information, then they need to make an appointment.
Okay, so you set the parameters up for
Right.
that. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, good
Yeah,
answer.
she
Thank you.
will. Interesting because one of my mentors was using her, and he shared that he had a special like 2 months ago that that page wasn't public anymore. And so she was having a conversation with somebody and they kept saying, oh, I really just can't afford it right now. I really can't afford it. And she did pull that old special out and said, oh, well, we did have a special and they actually did buy. So, I mean, that person did save like 75 bucks on whatever it was, but she did make the sale. So he was still
Gotcha.
happy that she made the sale, even though it was not something that was public anymore. So we do set those parameters.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's kind of controversial in itself because for me, in my business, when I have a sale, for instance, I had anybody that set an appointment with me if they set the appointment, like actually made the appointment in um, 2025, even if the appointment didn't occur until February in 2026, they still got 2025 pricing. But then for the person who put it off and called on January 2nd, I'm sorry, that pricing was gone. And so I don't like that where they can pull back and do that, but I do love the fact that it can just turn it around to meeting with you, because I think that the biggest trick, we're going to go back to saying the balance word that everybody hates in online world, but I think the biggest trick is going to be to balance your AI with your personalization. And so making that connection, I offer a chatbot inside my service for all of my clients to use. And your chatbot, and this is just how I simplify it for them, it literally just regurgitates everything that's on your website, right? And it can go through your SOP, your standard operating procedures for that. But then I also offer a human 24/7 customer service that they can click that and type the word human and they actually get connected to a human. So they have that option. And I love that what you're doing with this offers that as a redirect when the right questions are asked, or however that looks, however you set it up. I really like that. And does anybody else have any questions for Lois? Okay, I do.
Okay.
Are you ready, Lois?
I think so.
All right, time for hot seat. Here we go. This is
Okay.
what keeps us real and sets us apart from other podcasts is we ask the hard questions. And the reason that we do this is we really want to get people thinking about what we've been discussing. And I want it to really help you as you go into your week to keep coming back and thinking about these things and considering them. especially so that you're prepared when you reach out to connect with Lois. So Lois, what's the one thing everyone in your industry is doing that you think is complete BS, and why are they still doing it?
Well, yeah, I think especially for the industries that I serve, it's that they're not embracing the technology. And that's really going to be very sad because, I often share this story, but I was thinking back when I was in elementary school. It was before computers came out, obviously, but the teachers were talking about how the computers were going to save us so much time and we're going to have shorter work days and shorter work weeks. And then I got my first computer and it was taking up so much time because I was learning how to use it. And then it was taking up so much time because I realized what it could do. And I think that this is the first time in technology that we could actually possibly cut back our work days and our work weeks because AI is simplifying the structure. It's just like things that I could spend 3 or 4 hours researching, it can do in minutes. And having somebody like having a voice chat on your website is I'm sorry, but it's kind of a no-brainer type of thing for a home service business. I mean, she answers she answers the questions, she makes appointments, she sends out samples, she doesn't take bathroom breaks, she doesn't need lunch, she doesn't ask for a raise. I mean, how much more is a new employee going to cost you to do all of that?
But
And
does she
so
get busy? Like, what happens if 2 or 3 people are trying to use her at the same time?
she talks to them all.
Oh, good golly.
Yeah, she can.
Talks more than me. I hope that you all do that.
Yeah, she can talk to multiple people at the same time. I mean,
That's good to know.
you
Okay,
know,
next question. What's a mistake you made that cost you serious money or time that you kept making anyways because you were too proud or scared to admit that it wasn't working?
so it actually wasn't the $25,000 camera. That was a good purchase. But anyway, I think for me personally was not starting my online marketing business quicker. I was like holding on to the photography business because it was really the only thing that I actually understood and knew. And then it took me a while to really adjust my mindset to say, well, yeah, you know how to take pictures and use a camera and make beautiful pictures, but you also know how to get businesses online. And so I did drag my feet for a while, just trying to hold on to the photography business, even though things were going slower and slower because at that point, well, even now, I mean, to be a professional photographer, all you have to do is have a digital camera and a computer. So there's no understanding of light and composition. If you screw up, you just mimic it up in Photoshop and say it's art. So that was probably my holdback, was the fact that I didn't go ahead and just step into the online marketing.
Okay. All right. One last question from me, and then we have a question on LinkedIn for you. If you could give one piece of advice to someone in your industry, but it would piss off half your peers, what would it be, and why is it worth the backlash?
Well, okay, so it would be the fact that you can learn this all on your own. I mean, you can
This is why we're friends. This is why we're friends. I
yeah.
hope you take note. This is why we're friends. Good.
So, yeah, I would love to do all of this for you, but you could learn to do this. You could do my job and what I do for all of my clients, and you could get online. And I mean, okay, so, and I do have a course that would actually walk you through that whole process. I mean, I literally give all my details in my course. And I just want to make sure that businesses that don't have the team, they're solopreneurs or whatever may be holding them back from not embracing this technology, that you can do this. You can either do it on your own. You could have your high school daughter or son do this for you. There's no reason for you not to embrace this technology, get your business online and get those calls coming, because the internet has really leveraged the playing field. I mean, back when we started our business, I remember sitting at my work window and going, if I just had the budget of Walmart, imagine what I could do, you know? And now you don't have to have that budget of Walmart because you can be online and you can get in front of the people that are searching specifically for your services, and you can do this on your own.
Okay, so we want you to share your course in the chat, and then I'm going to copy and paste it into LinkedIn as well. But this is the thing that I love the most when I come online to help entrepreneurs build their business, is that I want to rub shoulders with, stand side by side with the people who want to help people succeed, not the people who want to make other people become dependent on them. Does that make sense? Because here's the thing. I received an email from Go High Level a couple of weeks ago saying to bring people in to Go High Level, charge them a low cost to get in, and then charge them a ton of money to go do their landing page, their website, do all the updates for them, keep that going. And here's the truth of the matter. I feel like that's dishonest. I feel like it's gatekeeping. And what I want more than anything is to see my clients succeed. And so my goal with them, and why I only take 3 clients a month, is because I get them in, get them set up so it's all set up and running. And along the way, I teach them very, very quietly and very calmly, without any anxiety or overwhelm, how to do all of these things themselves. I teach them that, hey, guess what? You can actually just duplicate what I did and edit it for your next thing. And not one of my clients, and they all had Go High Level before, not one of them knew they could do that. They're all like, are you kidding me? Why have I been paying $1,800 landing page? I don't know, sis, but let's just do this. Watch. It takes like 2 seconds to duplicate it and then spend 20 minutes editing it with your new information. And you're done. I don't want you to need me. I want you to know that I have amazing customer service that's always here for you, but I want you to be able to do this on your own. Nothing in your business should be something you have to have. You should be able to run your business on your own as the owner of the business. And I love that about you, Lois. I love that you're willing to get people in there and get them and teach them how to do it. You know, actually teach them. They need to learn those things. Okay. I am going to share this in the chat with everybody here. And then we have a question on LinkedIn. Deborah says, what application did you create Jenna on?
She's through Go High Level.
Deborah, I'm not sure if you heard that. I will reply to Deborah on here. All right. Does anybody have any last questions for Lois? Any last thoughts? Did everybody get their contact information into the chat? Can't hear anybody. I'm hoping that you're saying yes. Okay, I have shared that. All righty. I'm going to go ahead and give Carl a minute to, actually, Lois, tell us the best way to connect with you. I put your LinkedIn and I put your website. I've now shared your course. I should have wrote on there that was your course, but I just put it in.
Yeah.
Go ahead and share with us the best way to contact with you or connect with you.
Yeah, so either LinkedIn or I'll put my email in here as well. Oops, if I can spell it right. Yeah, so either send me a message on LinkedIn or drop me an email.
All right, that's perfect. Carl, you want to go ahead and give us a minute plug for your networking that I love to attend?
Sure. We're every Wednesday, 2:45 Eastern Standard Time. It's absolutely free. We do require people to go to our website, which is irefuseToFail.com, to fill out a form because we like to know who's coming. But it's pretty simple. Our platform, if you're brand new, you're going to be interviewed starting off by me, and then the rest of the people in the room can ask you a question. So you have one great big one-on-one instead of a one-on-one in a breakout room with just one person. And then we generally now pick a topic of the day and we discuss that, a business topic. We record that and post it on LinkedIn and some other social platforms, and then we're done.
All righty, and I'm going to type that on LinkedIn too. I shared that there. And then also, I will just go ahead and give us a plug. If you are interested in being a speaker, as Lois was today, go ahead and reach out to Nicole or I on Brew and Stew Media Spotlight. Nicole, you want to drop that? That'd be great. We have lots of different packages. I will go ahead and tell you one that seems to be most popular right now is it's a combo package. And so it's a 6-month combo package where you get 2 speaker spots. You get to speak on this podcast, which is Monday Morning Business Foreplay. You also get to speak on Wednesday on Nicole's Pain Point podcast. You get a branded sponsor graphic, which would be a logo and a QR code that is displayed during all episodes for 6 months. And you also get a 30 to 60-second commercial included in all episodes for 6 months. And we will include that also in our Voice Lab podcast, which is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you are interested in that, you can go ahead and grab the link in the chat that Nicole put, and also find us on Voice Lab on the school platform, where we share all things that will help you build your business by speaking, getting seen and heard in 2026. And thank you to everybody for attending today. Have a good week. We'll see you next Monday. Or see you Wednesday on Pain Point Podcast.